a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Our legacy to the hero who bore the Lord with diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Hail, hail, hail this land of glory. We the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Praises to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Our legacy to the hero who bore the Lord with diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ambazonians, today is the 8th of October 2018. I just want to welcome you back to business. I say, let's go back to business. It is time to finish the fight. It's time to finish what we started. With or without a President Biya, we have to understand that we had a plan and we have to make sure we execute that plan. In warfare, you should be able to take advantage of the vulnerabilities of your opponent. This is no time to rest. This is no time to waste. It is time for us to go down to business. And I want to use this opportunity to congratulate our self-defense forces and all that made sacrifices to make sure that the boycott of the elections of La Republique on our territory was total. And I want to congratulate you for all your efforts. And our hearts and prayers go to those that we lost. About those that were killed on the front line. We really pray that you have rest where you are, and that you should be proud of the generation you have left behind, that we will not fail you. The best we can do for you is to deliver Boya in our time, in our lifetime. Now, here is our plan. We started talking about this before now, but this is the time to emphasize it more than ever before. As you can see, for the few months we have been in place in this office, we have been able to contain the enemy. We have been able to deny the enemy victory. We have been able to resist so well. You can see from the election, the results of the election, despite the mobilization, the heavy artillery presence, and the thousands of military personnel, all authorized to shoot on sight and kill all over our territory, we were able to enforce our laws in our land. That's the proof that we have stood our ground. But the game is not just supposed to be containing the enemy or maintaining the struggle. We have to go beyond maintaining the struggle. Right now, our way forward is Operation Push Over the Enemy and secure our territory. We are going to do so like never before. Right now, that's our mission. That is our assignment. We are going to do targeted diplomacy as never before, just as we are going to fight like never before. You see, for this purpose, I'm trying to present to you what we call securing your country, restoring your country, local government by local government. I will endeavor during this session to give you the details. I have an elaborate plan before me, but I will go step by step, and I would like to take some questions. Those of you participating on social media should suggest your questions, and there will be a journalist from the Department of Communication who will pick out those questions and pose them appropriately so I can answer you. This is our strategic plan, also known as the AMBA Peace Plan. The AMBA Peace Plan, restoring our nation, local government by local government. So it will always be known as the AMBA Peace Plan, the AMBA Peace Plan. And for those of you who want to know more, you will make sure you go to AMBA, ABC AMBA TV. And then also we have our website, a new website is now inaugurated. We inaugurated a new website which we have been working on for a long time. This website is completely new, but for some of the data that we've been able to transfer from SAKO.org and AMBA.gov.org, now the new website is this: www.ambazoniagov.org. www.ambazoniagov.org. We have resolved a lot of issues that were wrong with the previous websites. We have involved a lot of new technologies and chosen better online platforms for the management of our data. So you can rest assured that we have at least the best now. Go to www.ambazoniagov.org and see for yourself. There you will find that probably you need to log in if you had registered in the previous websites. You may have to just use your login information, go in there and renew your information, especially your payment information, if you're one of those paying by website. I want to present to you the AMBA peace plan as our way forward, the solution for the crisis and the conflict we have at this time. I was out before June, up to the month of June, talking to us about my trip to Boya. So let me tell you a little about that plan before I go into AMBA peace plan. I came out here and set out a target for Ambazonia, and I saw a lot of things in my foresight. I was able to see that there were certain things that were going to happen, that the enemy had just one plan. His plan was to beat us down to submission. I knew that. So we needed to be prepared for that before the escalation. So I made a solemn request that if we had $2 million, if I had $2 million in 1 month, we were going to not just do maintenance of the struggle, but we're going to purposefully invest in the resistance. And unfortunately, we were so deep emotionally in our losses, especially when our leaders were transported to Yaoundé. It was just about that time, and we're emotionally drowning. Some people thought that the battle was over, that there was no need to fight. This thing was going to nowhere. So we're so deep down that we needed to first of all dig ourselves out of that hopeless pit to believe that we were going to make it. So the money did not come in to the extent that we could first of all do the maintenance of the people of the struggle, and at the same time invest as we needed to before this time. So, but we were able to do the things we have done. Even today, we are proud of what 20th May was. We are proud of what the elections have been in our territory. We are proud of the fact that the enemy has vacated territories, portions of our territory, completely. We are proud of the fact that we could celebrate in most part of our rural areas. We could celebrate our Independence Day, and people celebrated a full day and went back to their houses and rested, and nothing happened. We are celebrating a lot, but all that is equal to pushing back the enemy. We have pushed back the enemy out of many places. Our best efforts, without enough resources, just amounted to maintenance of the revolution, making the land ungovernable, because as you see, La République cannot govern our people anymore. We are the one who effectively govern our territory. This is how much we have been able to do. We have not been able to invest into the struggle. Every revolution must have an investment phase. There is an investment we must make in this liberation war for us to push the enemy over on the other side. I will be saying the things I can say here because I'm not in a private forum. I'm talking to the whole world. So the way forward is AMBA Peace Plan. AMBA Peace Plan is a community partnership project, between communities, Ambazonian communities, and the interim government to secure our country, local government by local government. It is a community partnership project. We want to bring the community into partnership with the government. We don't want the people to ask us again, government, what are you doing? We want to get the community to be part of the government, so that you will be the ones to tell your people what we are doing. In a revolution, in a liberation war like this one, there is not a lot we can be sharing out there on social media. There's not a lot we can spread out there on social media for everybody. But if the communities are actively involved in the process, then you will know step by step what is going on. And you can share that information with your own, whether in your language or in your community or in your cultural groups or whatever. You will share that information. So that's the way it has to be. It has to be the government of the people and by the people. The AMBA Peace Plan, it gives the communities we have chosen this time are the smallest level of administration at this, and you will permit us to accept the colonial structures as they are until we get to Boya. Then we make the necessary changes. So we have chosen to use the local government structures, which are now in place, colonially termed the subdivisions. We have chosen the smallest administrative unit as the instrument, as the place for mobilization for this plan, because for many reasons. Local governments are the smallest administrative units. For mobilization, they are more effective. When we have to mobilize our families, we are more effective. We can rally everybody around. And when we have to mobilize just our tribe, it's also very effective. So, and we know that most tribes are local government based. And we saw from the cultural groups and from the cultural and development associations, they are all built around this. Some are at county levels. That means what we call the colonialist term divisions today. But we chose the smallest unit of administration for a mobilization effort to save our country at this time, because when we do so, the Lord phenomenon will be avoided. The warlord phenomenon will be avoided the smaller the units of administration we work with, because it is difficult. It's a little more difficult for somebody to rise up from a small local government and threaten the unity or the union of the federation. But it is probably a bigger challenge when somebody rises up in control of a whole county and thinks he's powerful enough and has men enough to follow him. Such a person can even threaten the rest of the federation. So we are going to focus on the smallest unit and coordinate them through a powerful federal structure. For now, there are things that will be more convenient for us when we effectively take over our territory and we are in control from Boya, where we have the instruments of enforcement to ensure that we don't win our country and lose our nation. Now, the peace plan, the committee in this plan, we want to empower the local governments to decide on humanitarian issues. Today, we are just helping, but just almost as spectators, not exactly knowing what the government is doing. We want the communities to take control and have enough a say in the defense of their communities, so that you don't just say I send cash, I try to help people left and right, but you should be able to know who is doing what in your community. You must have a say, and if over the bad actors and the good actors. So that is why this plan is put in place. The government will not do all. We want to do all we do in conjunction with the community and the community leadership. So you will be able to take care of your own resources in this plan. There have been a lot of cry that we send all the money to government and government makes decisions. Sometimes we don't know what government is doing, because the business itself of defending our homeland is fraught in a lot of secrecy, which is obvious. and then you are required to answer, to explain and to give some kind of reports that are not convenient. And so in this one, you are able to take care of your resources in this plan. Take care of your resources and make sure you give your own in-house accountabilities. And just on a light note, very soon I will be able to come to the local government and say, have you published your own statement online? How do you look at it? Can you publish the things you are doing online? Because that's the question they're asking the government. You see, you would now discover how inconvenient it is at this time to say everything you are doing, publish everything in black and white, or for the public and for the enemies. So you organize yourselves in your local government. I know you already organized. This is not something we're trying to forge. It's something that's already going on. The communities are fully organized. These structures exist as cultural groups. They exist as solidarity groups and so on. They are already there, and you're making a lot of efforts already. All we are trying to do is to leverage these structures that exist informally to make them more effective. Okay. You know, when we bring structure to something that is existing informally, we are going to avoid wastes and we're going to improve on efficiency. Today, you're making your efforts. China is making effort in your local government. Germany is making effort in your local government. So many states in America are making efforts in your local government. They receive almost the same requests from the same people, and everybody is channeling his own help. Sometimes some people think they are the only ones who are attending to that need. Before you know it, 10 of you have fully attended to that need, and that's really a waste, because the real things that's supposed to be done to have been done efficiently have not been done. So it is this we cut down on waste, so that our resources are used efficiently, so that we will not all buy the same bicycle for somebody. 10 people will not buy one bicycle. If our resources are pooled together, one man's money will buy that bicycle. The other money from the 9 others will do other things. We'll take care of the sick. We'll buy 1 or 2 assets for the people, and you will know exactly what you need and what you have been able to do with what they have received. All those reports will come to the same place, so nobody will be lying to anybody. So you are in control. The communities are in control. So I want to, before I tell you the content of the peace plan, I want to assure you that sometime in March we created, the people of Ambazonia, came together, the self-defense groups came together and created the Ambazonia Self-Defense Council. There were many brothers and sisters who were desperate to defend themselves, constituted themselves already in groups, and they decided to come together and see how they can benefit from each other's experience, how they can share information, and how they can benefit from the expertise of some Ambazonians. So they created the ASC. And that ASC from the month of March is waxing strong. Today it is organized, it has organized itself on ground zero, almost like the American military. I mean, no, I'm not talking about materials. I'm talking about structures. The structural organization, because in every county there is a brigade commander. A brigade commander, somebody who is there to oversee what is going on in terms of securing our land, our territory, defending the declaration of the restoration of our independence. Somebody is there. I will call him the brigade commander. And then under him, at the level of subdivisions, there is battalion commanders, exactly as the U.S. Army is structured. So the battalion commanders are people who secure the local governments and ensure that terrorist soldiers don't come in there to kill people, burn their properties, and rape their women. So they are there using whatever they can find to defend themselves and their communities. At the level of the subdivisions, you have battalion commanders. And you have groups by groups within a battalion. And those groups are called companies. That's how it is in the U.S. Army. So we have structures in place over cities within a subdivision, which is today called a local government. And we have a leadership over the subdivision or local government now, which is a battalion commander. And then we also have a leadership over the county that is called the brigade commander. So this was part of the advice and the structures that were prescribed by the ASC already all over the territory. What is lacking is the administrative side of it, the civil side of it, the communities side of it. That is what the AMBA Peace Plan brings to the table. So let me explain how community leadership has to be added to this structure to secure our nation, local government by local government. We recognize that there are many shadow leaders on ground zero who are working effectively. If you want to know that, see what happened on the 1st of October. You will know that there's a lot of leadership on the ground. Unfortunately for now, because of the threat to their lives, and they are under the shadow. And but we want to put up a structure that will recognize them. So here is what is going to happen. All the country heads of the interim government, all the country coordinators that are representing our communities country by country, will take these announcements seriously. You are going to receive letters, formal letters, directing you to help mobilize our communities, local government by local government, within your country, within your state or region. Our plan is, first of all, to ensure that every local government in Ambazonia has some people in your country. Let those people be informed to mobilize and choose a representative in your country that represents your local government. Let all the people that represent, say, Nge, local government, within, say, Germany, mobilize and get somebody in Germany who represents the local government. He will be known as a local government rep, the local government rep of Nge in Germany. So let every country do that. Make sure that the cultural groups, the solidarity groups, the development groups that we have, the associations, even at the church level, bring yourself together, leaders in the community, select leaders that represent your local government area. That's the first stage. And as you do that, build up a mega WhatsApp group that will bring together all the local government reps, all your local government reps around the world. Let them be able to come together. The local government administrators, or let me call them local government executives in all the countries, let them come together in a larger forum and be able to elect a council that will take care of the affairs of your local government in the diaspora. Let the local government reps in every country come together in a mega forum and elect a council that will take charge of the affairs of your local government here in the diaspora, and that will work in collaboration with a shadow administration on the ground. And that leadership, the shadow leadership, will be secretly appointed by the diaspora, by your diaspora council. And you don't need to announce those people out to anybody and make them vulnerable. So when every local government has selected its leader, that leader will be called a local government chair or a local government administrator. So the local government administrator will also have other administrators, because you will also have other assistants, publicity, finance, treasurer, all that. Put yourself together. But here's the thing. You will establish your own account. Establish your own account to make sure that you pool your resources together to the same local government. It is not good to let money be hanging all around the world or ask the countries to just act straight on ground zero. It will take us back to where we are coming from, where there's no coordination and there's a waste. So make sure you have a unified account where the money comes in and where there is planning, proper planning before it is being used, so that that council is able to assess the needs, and the community knows who to go to or where to go to, and be able to present their problems. And that local government administrator shall be a member of the interim government. That means he will be working in collaboration with the arms of government, other arms of government, including the ASC, to ensure, and the HSS, to ensure that the local government needs are appropriately addressed. So your money is in your keeping, but you are going to benefit from the expertise that we have, the coordination and the structures that we have, so that you can put the money to use in an efficient way. So the money is meant for ground zero. But this is the way we are going to do the math. Every local government raises its money for ground zero needs, and 80% of it shall be spent by your administrators, elected administrators, for the needs of your local government, and 20% will be given to the interim government for the needs of all the local governments on ground zero. So let me explain. The battalion commanders will be in charge of your local government, so you will know what your local government, who is in control of your local government. So if somebody is not behaving well, you can just call the ASC in the next meeting and tell them, this person is not doing his job. We don't like him. He's not treating us well. He's not obeying the laws. He is instead lording over us and doing this evil and that evil. The ASC will help to take that person out. So the local government, you are in charge. You take care of your commander and all your battalion, and you take care of your companies that are actively working to defend and help your community. But at the federal government level, which is the interim government, there is a lot we have to do. We also will have our own federal oversight, our own structures that will be federal in nature, so that they can help to stabilize this structure that we put in place, so that will not just all be fragmented here and there, but we'll have a powerful federal presence that will ensure that warlords don't emerge, that will make sure that people don't come out and take power to themselves and destabilize our vision for a powerful, a strong nation and a prosperous nation. So the 20% to the IG will take care of that federal structure. There is a federal structure that, as I will be coming to your communities on Zoom meetings in close communities, I will explain to you better. But that's what I will tell you. But all the 100% is for ground zero. The 80% will go directly to the needs of your local government community, and the 20% will be spent by the IG for federal structure and for the needs of a federal structure that will support your efforts on ground zero in your local government, and ensure that we win the whole nation, not just your local government. So this is a very strategic plan. But let me announce to you that there are going to be two phases of this plan. And I want to, as I'm talking to you right now, if you go to the website www.ambazoniagov.org, as you hit the button, you are going to see that there's already provisions for all the local governments there. I know it's a work in progress. Sometimes you might go there, your village is missing, and you say, oh, they don't consider our village to be important. It's just a work in progress. If anything is left out, it's going to be added there. You go there, you will find your local government. You will even find your village where you come from. Now, you go to your local government, you can donate that right there, and that money is for the local government. Any money, any donation you donate there, is given to the local government. So as you continue to put yourself together, you will be shown the account local government by local government. You will know how much money the website has already received for your local government. So that's your money. So that means that for the online collections, the website, the government website will help all the local government by local government. But most of the collections, especially outside the US and Canada, may be coming by offline collections. So your local government representatives will, in every country, will mobilize the people to make those collections periodically, and then you guys will channel it to your account. And that which is collected on the IG website will also be channeled to your account. So it has two phases. Let me explain these two phases before I can take some questions. The urgent thing we have to do on phase one now, phase one is what I call 10 loaves and 2 fishes. 10 loaves, operation 10 loaves and 2 fishes before Christmas. I want us to give a Christmas gift to our communities before December. Something they can celebrate. 10 loaves and 2 fishes. And this can cost about $25,000. So bring yourself together and contribute that money. You are not giving another gift to the interim government. Contribute that money. We will tell you what to do with that money. I told you that this is the investment phase into our struggle. We will tell you what to do with that money. We need that money urgently, very, very fast. For those of you who are already well organized, who can decide to borrow the money somewhere and then you pay it gradually, please look for able high worth members of your community. Let them give you that money. I was thinking that I can also say another 1 month. If we can get this done in 1 month, that will be the sweetest thing you can do for Ambazonians. Because 10 loaves and 2 fishes, that will be wonderful. A wonderful Christmas we shall have as Ambazonia. We need to get this 10 loaves and 2 fishes, 25 grand, $25,000. I don't know how much that will be in euros. Probably 20,000 euros or something. Put yourself together and get that money quick. We need that money at the speed of light. We need to hear from you that you are ready. That's all. We're not saying send the money to IG. If IG collects it through the website, it will be communicated directly, because every local government administrator will have access will be given access to this to the site to be able to see what is there for his local government. So you just do it and help us celebrate Christmas like never before in Ambazonia. So after that is done, after you check the box, your local government has been able to provide the 10 loaves and 2 fishes, which is a minimum. If you want to give more to your local government, probably you can give about 35,000, where you can have more than 12 loaves, or more than even 15 loaves. But I'm giving a minimum of 12 loaves. When we come to give you the details, you will understand how those loaves shall change the destiny and of our local government areas. How those loaves shall save our nation, local government by local government. So the moment we check the box, then we are going to fall back into monthly contributions, which the federal government is not going to mandate an amount for you for your contribution, what we call now the peace levy. It's called the peace levy. Every community in Ambazonia has got to sit together and legislate and inform the local government of how much you have decided your peace levy to be. If you want your peace levy to be $100, every Ambazonian in your local government, every member of from your local government must pay it. It must pay your peace levy. The peace levy is a must. Peace levy is a must. Every local government. You know how that in your cultural groups you have emphasized and enforced contributions in ways that nobody can dodge. One day you will get them in the trap if anyone continues to dodge. So those are things that are already happening in our communities. So the peace levy will be determined by the community. So you see, we are empowering the communities to make this decision and inform the government. The moment you inform the government, it will be stated on your page in the website. The moment anybody clicks there, he will see for himself how much you have agreed to pay. It is there on the website. So that's the amount he will pay. That amount is called the minimum. We are not all the same. These fingers are not all the same. To whom much is given, much is expected. For those who have been blessed by Mother Nature and they are better than others, if they fix a minimum for $50 a month, like the Eritreans fixed their model, you will not come and give 50 and say that's not correct. So it is graduated into different levels that you pay. So make sure that you give that minimum going forward. That will be necessary for the maintenance of the revolution. That would, because we have already provided the 10 loaves and 2 fishes. Now we'll have to maintain the revolution. We have to maintain the liberation. We have to maintain our territory. We have to take care of the needs. We have to take care of the health issues. We have to take care of a lot of things. And we may have to invest more again for in our communities. So that will be that will be it. Now the other thing is, as you take care of your community, here is what you will do for the federal government. The federal government is hereby mandating citizenship levy, which we called citizenship levy yesterday. We don't want to use levy and levy and levy because the peace levy is for your local government. So now it is called the AMBA dues. Our AMBA dues are unavoidable. Everybody, as you engage your local government and mobilize resources for your local government, everybody that is interested in the welfare and the security of your local government should make sure, and the leadership must make sure, that they are dues paying citizens, that they are paying their dues, which are the AMBA dues. Everybody. We have said that for you who wants AMBA free, you cannot not spend $1 a day for the freedom of Ambazonia. So we are mandating $1 a day for the freedom of the whole Ambazonia. Because the federal government, we have to do a lot, spend a lot on diplomacy. The federal government will have to make sure that they will spend much for refugees. We have to make sure that we are able to sustain the federal structure and also subsidize some local government that may not have the resources, but they have needs. We have to come in there powerfully to support them. And our federal structures that will ensure the stability of this union must be funded so that we can win like a strong house all together. So it's $1 a day is translates to $30 every month. We can pay $30 every month, and we should pay $30 a month. For those of us who are paying $20, we'll go to the website and you increase that amount to $10. When we started paying that, it was like peacetime. It was not wartime. We had a crisis, but this was not where we were at that time. So for what is going on now, for us to secure our country, local government by local government, for us to be able to meet up with the challenges that are before us now, and for us to increase our speed so that we don't dwell long in this wilderness, $1 a day makes a lot of sense. And I'm urging you now, listening to me, go to the website, update your information, change it from 20 to 30. God bless you. You have just made a very significant step that will increase our speed to Boya. Before you know it, it is going to happen. So that is called our AMBA dues are also compulsory. $30 a month is a minimum. It's a minimum. It's a minimum. We should be able to pay. Some people right now are already paying more than $30 a month. Some have dropped. And I tell you, if you registered in the days of SAKO and you gave your cards and you're paying online, you might be surprised that you're one of those who have fallen away, because many, more than 80% have fallen away from the site because either their cards expired, information expired, addresses changed, and a lot of other things, and they fell off. So you go back there, make sure your information is updated, and make sure that you're paying at least 30. For those of you who are paying already a little more, it's because you have understood what it will cost us in this struggle to sing our victory song. So you can do something with your figures. If you are able to pay $50 when others were paying only $20, then you can pay $70 at this time, because we need the money. So I want to also tell you that this time around there's going to be an enforcement mechanism. We are going to demand that everybody, every born Ambazonian, must pay his AMBA dues and his citizenship, his peace levy. It is a must. We are not going to take the no for an answer anymore. Nobody will be exempted from this. For that reason, we have an app that will be rolled out very soon. And that app, every Ambazonian will download it. You can download it, then later on delete it. No problem. But when you download it, you're going to receive a number. That number is an identification number. From that moment, you can use that number to make all your payments. Whether you are paying to your local government, or you are paying to the federal government, or you are paying anywhere that it has to do with a contribution for this struggle, you can give that number. The moment that number is written anywhere, you might give it anonymously, just with that number. If you give that number, you are identified. That donation, that money that you spent, will be kept by that app. Because when we receive the money, when the money gets to the to your administrator, it will be logged. Your money will be logged into that number. So anywhere you are, it can be verified whether you are a levy paying citizen, a peace levy paying citizen, or you are up to date with your AMBA dues. We are going to find ingenious ways to enforce the laws of Ambazonia. When we take our nation, I said when, not if. When we take our territory all in full control, and we are in Boya, the federalists will rejoice. The unionists who are desperate to keep us in captivity will rejoice. Everybody, it will be everybody's victory. And if the victory will be everybody's victory, then the price should be everybody's price to pay. We are going to go down to the Eritrean model, who mandated 2% of their income to be paid towards their liberation. And those records were kept in an age when we did not have all the information capabilities we have today. So we are going to keep the records. When we said $30, it was, I calculated that is also 30, that's also 2%, because like in the United States, when I thought about the minimum wage, with taking the minimum wage, it's about $1,600 a month. So 2% of that is about $30. So we just went down to the minimum. And when I consider that that's almost the case in the diaspora, then the $30 is just the 2%. We are going to be required to pay that 2%. Whether we like this struggle or not, we must pay the 2%. Or we will find ways to enforce that law on ground zero and in the diaspora against anybody who refuses to pay, a free rider who is just waiting for us to get to Boya. And as the elections happen today, they are rejoicing, but they make no sacrifices. And then they will go back there and say, oh, we won. We won. I knew it. We won. But now there will be enough records to show that you are not up to date. And if you ever think of going to do any investment back home, whether for a visit, whether for a funeral, whether for a house building, whether for whatever, you must remember that we will do some background checks on you. Our shadow administration will come around to know exactly whether you are compliant or not, whether you are up to date or not. And there will be huge fines to pay for those who refuse to give us the meager $30 to prosecute this struggle. That is not a threat. That is the reality. There's a lot of free riders, and they ask the highest amount of questions. What are you people doing? This IG we are not yet selling our oil. We are not yet having access to the oil. We are not yet having access to the taxes from the companies. We are being funded by our sacrifices, all of us, all of us. So we cannot relent on this, for that's the strength of our revolution. And if we don't have that, it means we fail. And let me tell you, let the federalists too hear this. If we fail in this, you will not also have a nation. Because if you think by any means that if we fail in this, you, the federalists, will be in a better place, it's a lie. They will crush everything called Ambazonia, everything called Southern Cameroon. You will be less than a slave to live in this life if the restorationists don't succeed in this struggle. So that's why we don't spare you. Everybody has to contribute to this. We must find ingenious ways to enforce it, to make sure that you do, or else there'll be penalties. So I want to encourage you, revisit the website. Start first things first. Make sure your own money is handy. Go to your local government, go and drop it there. For those of us who are participating in leadership of our local government, start mobilizing. Produce the leadership. Get yourself together. Open your bank account. Claim whatever belongs to your local government on the website, already paid. And then start organizing, work in collaboration with the IG and the ASC. Let us get to Boya. Let us have a Christmas like never before. So I will drop the mic right here, but I'm not gone yet. I would like to take some questions. I hope there are questions I can answer in this in a place like this. Then, or maybe shed some light on certain issues. Then I will tell you goodbye. God bless. Thank you for listening to me. Stay tuned. Just hang in there and let me get some questions from you.
Good evening, televiewers, and welcome once again to this extraordinary segment where we have the opportunity to relate some few questions to the President. Mr. President, good evening, sir. Thank you for granting me this opportunity to present questions from your people. We have followed you very closely, and some of the questions that we drafted from the Communications Department, you have helped us to answer them, so I will not want you to go through that pain. But I picked up some two questions or concerns based on the comments that our people were dropping as you were speaking. And I'll ask just these two questions, sir. How does the AMBA peace plan intend getting the civil society in the diaspora part of the decision-making body in this structural reform? Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, by the civil society we mean organizations within the diaspora, non-governmental organizations, churches, cultural and development groups. These are structures that are built in our local government, in the diaspora, not along local government community settings. They are created by individuals, run by councils, a group of individuals who are not really may not be from the same cultural group or linguistic origin or tribe or local government. So we are saying that as leaders in the civil society, you also have a local government of origin. Be part of the mobilization. Bring in your expertise. Bring in your knowledge in this process that we are putting in place. Work in collaboration with other leaders. Some are cultural leaders, some are chiefs, some are traditional leaders, as I said, some are leaders of other NGOs, and then come together and see from amongst you and select some leaders that will be able to oversee the affairs of your local government. So we are not going to, that's one step. Step number two, the federal government has proposed to work with civil society organizations at the federal level, civil society organizations in the diaspora, that will be able to provide needed expertise. And if we see that they have the expertise and they have the dedication and are willing to work with the interim government, then they will be accredited, and they will be sponsored in one way or the other to carry out the work of securing our nation, local government by local government.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. President. That was elaborate. As you were talking, I think I was jotting down some things, and from the understanding of my notes, you mentioned that it is a community partnership project between the people and the government.
Yes.
And as you went forward, you made us to understand that this is the smallest unit of administration. Now, how will you want to enforce that promise to suit the people's wish that this is not just some lip service like what the people had, power to the people in the early 90s, and it was not very practical? How do you want, what promise or what is it in your plan that you will tell the people right now to give them that confidence that you are giving them the power to manage high offices?
Yes. The only thing I can assure you is that we are serious. We are working in collaboration with the communities and the leaders that are elected and presented to us. And because it doesn't depend entirely on us, it depends on the leadership that is mandated or elected or appointed by the communities. But what I can assure you is that we are not going to do anything to fail you. We have an understanding. This is our contract. This is our social contract, as I'm explaining to you. We are going to make sure that through the Restoration Council, these structures are formalized. They are formally engrafted into the administrative system and then that we work together. We are working together. Remember, you are accounting for 80% of the money that you are using for your community, so you don't have to ask us the accountability on that. So we are counting on the 20% that we are going to use for Ground Zero for the same needs which go beyond your local government area, because we have to maintain a robust structure that will be able to ensure the stability of the whole federation. And then we will now also give account to the nation on what we do for the rest of the, through their representatives, for the rest of what we receive as citizenship levy. And it's on this citizenship levy that I've explained to you that it's out of this that will make sure that civil society organizations that are duly accredited by this government, working for the government, will enjoy sponsorship in doing the things that will take us to Boya sooner than later. So, if you choose the right leaders, then you get what you want. Because as for the federal government, we are not going to flinch in any of the structures we have put in place. We have internal oversights, we have internal controls, we have the Restoration Council exercising oversight, and we will make sure that part of that oversight is to make sure that there is also transparency and accountability and transparency within your within the local government structures, in a way that the people of that community know what is going on, because you have the stamp of the interim government behind you. I don't know how some of these like collections will be enforced on Ground Zero, but on a progressive basis we will see how Ground Zero can also participate in these collections. So it will not be a situation where people with guns are coming all around, hitting doors and collecting money. That will not be the case again with our AMBA peace plan. So those who are there defending and securing the community, their job is to secure the community. The civil society, the citizens, the community are those who are mobilized to get what they need to secure, to help the people in any way that they need help to defend and secure our communities. So this will help us. We have given a lot of thought, a lot of expertise has been mobilized to bring us to this point. So we have a good structure, a good thought out plan, and we just want your participation. And let's save AMBA and save it as a whole. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you for your hard work and putting on a great team to strategize so that our nation can be totally free in the days ahead. AMBA Peace Plan, the premium strategy for the liberation of our nation. Dear televiewers, until next time, have a good night's sleep. We've come to an end of this program. Thank you.